What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where I'm going to go through the live stream in rapid succession as always, because there's a few surprising little things in there before the Battle for Brooklyn DLC actually drops tomorrow. I thought I'd just kind of do this video, pick up on a few things that we didn't know about. There was a few surprises in there and a few cool new things coming to the Division too. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And let's get straight into it. So first up, this was the agenda for the stream. You can see they were going to show the new Battle for Brooklyn trailer, talk about the story, gear, and skills that are coming. Then they were going to talk about the contest itself. Then they were going to talk about Crossroads, which is what the new season is called. So Year 7, Season 1. Then they're going to talk about the story for that, the seasonal journey, exotics, season gear, season pass, quality of life updates, which came as a bit of a surprise. Some events, again, with some good surprises in there as well. And then they finished off with a dev diary at the end. So just before we get into it, obviously this was a new face to the stream. This was Anis. She is super, super awesome. I actually was lucky enough to meet her when I went to Massive Studios, and along with the likes of Leo, who I've also talked about on my videos, who was a super cool guy to meet. Anis was super cool as well. Really, really nice to chat to. Really, really cool to see her on the team, and then even better now to see her on the live streams with Yannick. So first up, they showed the trailer. You can catch that on all the socials. There's no point me recapping it. This is a quick video, but obviously we know from that as well that the Battle for Brooklyn DLC comes out on May the 27th. There's no pre-order. When the game goes down for maintenance tomorrow, you'll be able to jump onto the Ubisoft store, use code DJ Tickle, and purchase the DLC. And then once the game comes back up, you've downloaded the patch and maintenance is finished. It's a 7-hour maintenance. You'll just have access to the DLC. Everyone downloads the same patch. It's just if you bought it or not, you'll get access to the DLC. Next, they moved on and talked about the story, and basically that the cleaners are now arriving in Brooklyn. That has been a brand new settlement that has been set up for a while now, but it's been left alone because there's been no need from a tactical point of view for anybody to kind of go there. So the settlement is very well established, but obviously now the cleaners are showing up and causing all kinds of havoc. We have seen clips of this before, but this is the map, and you can see on there, you can see Brooklyn Heights and Dumbo. You can see the new types of missions on here as well. So the main missions are external locations, and that's so they can bring a bit more variety to it. It can personalize the map to the main mission, and you know, kind of make the story and everything feel just a little bit more in depth rather than just wandering around within a map that we see all the time in the open world. But to go back to that as well, we still get the variety of the open world missions. So these new world missions are essentially newer side missions where we can walk up to them. We can just kind of patrol around them like as you would with normal main missions on a map right now. Then they talked about things we already know, but this is one of the control points here. You can see there's the brand new ingredients depending on what level you play the control point on. As you can see, this is the cleaner one. It's got the purple flame. You can also see that the agent has got the corrosion from the new purple flame that lowers your max armor level while you're in combat. You can't heal it. But what was interesting, that as kind of new information yesterday, that when combat ends, it doesn't just instantly disappear, that corrosion. It's a slow progression before it essentially disappears, meaning if you go straight into combat again, it will continue from where it's currently up to. So the idea is it's to force more speedy, more active combat, meaning that you basically want to get through the combat and be as tactical as you possibly can. Was, you know, Yannick used the word tactical a lot, but basically to get into that combat situation and get out of it, you know, on the winning side of it as quickly as possible before that corrosive effect takes, well, you take a hit on it too much, right, and you have 0 armor left. But on a side note, maybe that's going to start playing into all these huge health bonuses that we've got on some gear. But that was just a thought that I had at the time. Next, they talked about this beauty, the Catalyst, the new exotic mask that has the whole flame animation on, depending on how fast you are running in the game. They did give us a sneak peek on how we're going to get it. So this is going to be available from the final main mission in the DLC. But they did also tell us that it's not going to be 100% drop. So for some people who are not lucky enough, you are going to get some replayability in that final mission until you drop it. They obviously talked about its strengths as well. It's been designed really to be part of the Brooklyn DLC, because basically you get stronger if you are on fire. So if you've got status effects on you, not just fire though, they did mention that, you know, other factions around the world of the Division, if they apply a status effect to you, you will get stronger. And obviously there's on the flip side of it as well, that you doing status effect damage also makes you stronger as well. So definitely a very interesting mask, and it'll be kind of cool to see how this one goes with builds that we have already, especially the things like ongoing directive. Then they moved on to smart cover. They didn't really give us any clues to how we're going to get this. They just said you play the DLC, everybody gets it. It's not random or anything like that. There will be a point during the story in the DLC that everybody will unlock the smart cover talent. Say talent? Skill. Smart cover skill. Let's get it right. So then they very quickly moved on to purchasing the DLC. So this is the slide for if you don't own the Division right now. These are all the additions that you can buy that will include the Battle for Brooklyn DLC. We've covered this a little bit before. If you've got an old Gold Edition or an old Ultimate Edition, you will not get the DLC. These are brand new editions that only released on stores. So see it as a Gold Edition V2, Unlimited Edition V2. That came out just a few weeks ago, but they all come, you know, with that level 40 boost if they have the DLC included. And then the pack that most of us are actually interested in, because most of us who are watching this probably already own the DLC, own the base game rather. So you can buy the DLC for $14.99, or if you want the deluxe version that comes with the canvas outfit and the canvas weapon skin, that'll set you back $24.99. Then they moved on to Crossroads, which is the name of the new season. This obviously is a little bit of spoiler territory here if you've not finished the current season, but I'm sure by now everybody has, considering that the DLC launches in less than 12 hours. So Yannick talked a little bit about the story. I won't recap that, you've all seen it. But then they moved on to the scouts and the new design for how they're going to run scouts this season. So at the moment, you have to do all of the scouts to unlock the Master Manhunt mission at the end of the season. That is now going to change. There are still going to be scouts every week. It doesn't matter what order you do them in. It's completely up to you. But only 2 of them are going to be required for you to complete to be able to unlock the Master Manhunt mission at the end of the season. These are going to get a different name. They're going to get the HVT tag from Division 1. So all you have to do is complete 2 HVTs, which come as they're there. You have to do them. And then once you do that, you'll get access to the Master Manhunt mission at the end of the season. So if you're not a player that plays every week, if you're not a player that plays every day, and you kind of play a little bit at the beginning of the season and come back, you're only going to have 2 of these manhunt targets to have to do to be able to play the Master Manhunt mission and get the Tinkerer at the end. So then they talked about the Tinkerer a little bit, also showing off some brand new vanity on the character that has the Tinkerer equipped. We'd not seen the Tinkerer model before in the PTS. It was the same as the Catharsis, but obviously it does now look like a huge beefed up version of the Catharsis. You can see it's got the old Alpha Bridge logo on here with the abridged talent, and they talked about basically how it's an homage to Alpha Bridge, basically allowing you to run 2 gun talents at the same time. That does not include perfect gun talents as it stands, and it does not include exotic guns. But in the PTS, you could still run it on guns like the Lexington, because they don't run a perfect named talent. So it was really, the description was a little bit wrong. They didn't mention anything like that, so I assume that's the same, and we'll still be able to run the Lexington and take advantage of them bonuses. Next, they did a brief recap of how the new system is going to work when it comes to the global modifiers. I've covered this in detail in my channel already, so if you want to know that in detail, do check it out. But as you can see here, you build your gear score up by killing enemies that have the symbols above your head. You can see there just next to the agent's ammo bar, the 2, 1, and I think it's maxed out. So you can see the electronics there is maxed out. It was flashing, but basically every 2 tiers up to 6 gives you an extra core attribute in its necessary value, basically giving you up to a max of 4. You can see there he's got 411, and if he kills more reds, that would go to 5, up to a total of 6. So really cool. And it gives you bonuses like allowing you to go over the critical hit chance cap, you know, and things like that, which is pretty cool. This agent's using the Regulus. It's not very often we see demo footage of people using the Regulus, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, kind of cool. Looking forward to seeing this. I really do like the Division 1 style homage with this. So yeah, big excitement from me. Then they talked about the Pacan making a return. This has had a huge buff from the PTS. The mag size now gets 75%, I believe it was. Hopefully they'll show it here on the video in the background. I believe it gets a 75% buff on the reload. And then if we pause the video there, yeah, 75% base magazine size increase up, for the next magazine up to 4 times, which is huge. But then also they've changed the mods. Now we get 15% weapon damage, an extra 20 rounds, 10% reload speed, and then 15% critical hit chance. The reload speed here being the very important one. Hopefully when matched up now with strikers, this LMG got a kind of huge nerf with the reload speed of it back in the last patch or the patch before when they did some changes. So I really am hoping now that they put this 10% reload speed and then you can pair it up with strikers, that actually becomes super powerful and not just, you know, sidelined to the Bullet King. Next, they talked about the nimble holster, and as you can see here, it's added a little animation. So when you're running, it goes blue, and when you're in cover, it goes green. And when you're out of cover, it goes red. So yeah, kind of nice seeing gear getting those little touches. Hopefully we'll see more of that. I think it just brings the whole agent gear to a life a little bit more, right? It doesn't look as static. They then showed off the new fancy Pacan exotic skin. Exotic skins definitely do seem to be a thing right now. This is way fancier than the Scorpio one that we've had recently. I am kind of hoping that Pestilence one that kind of got leaked out a little bit, being advertised what seems to be by accident, has the same kind of cool animation glow to it. But the thing about this one was that when you went rogue, it went red. So whether it'll end up being a PvP gun or not, you know, orange when in normal play and red in rogue play, that's yeah, pretty cool. Then they talked about the new gear, which I've already covered in my last video, where we've seen some of those little changes there with the final measure that kind of have been made quicker. They've reduced the skill cooldown and things like that, but everything else has kind of stayed the same. But if you want the full details on that, check out my patch notes video. We'll move on. In this one, there's not much point doubling up. Just a quick note, you can see here the one strap backpack making a return, and that's going to come as part of the season pass as well for everybody, so that's kind of cool. They did talk about the season pass a little bit here and show a few clips of things. You can see here the badges and stuff and things like that. I give the full rundown though in the patch notes video that I did, but obviously as well, it's pretty interesting as well. Yeah, you can see this vanity here that this agent has got on that we have not seen before, so I'm assuming that is one of the cosmetic sets that we can unlock. We then got this little video where you can see these apparel sets look very street vibey. We've had ones like this before, but yeah, with these are the ones that you saw when it flipped through. I did see these glasses on the season track, so they're going to be the premium ones, I guess, on the season track. So yeah, pretty cool if you like that street kind of vibe. Next, they talked about season pass XP because they just covered the season pass, but all events in the game are being buffed. So if you do control point, if you do a mission or something like that, or an open world activity, they're all getting an 85% boost in season pass XP, basically so that you can level up quicker but also do more of what you actually like and not be forced down that rabbit hole having to do the whole journey or things like that. Then they covered the whole scavenging points thing again, that basically spend all your scavenging points. It's going to become an account based watch. It's going to get a one-time refill, and then every point that you use is then gone forever. That's it. But obviously you can earn more, and all the materials are being tripled. Next, they talked about milestone bills, that are the new caches that come when you are leveling up. I'm going to do a video on this. I've got all of the caches ready, so we'll do a more detailed video on this. They did talk that there's 4 different ones that you get at various levels when leveling up, that basically are introducing you into builds, into gear sets, into brand sets, and then into exotics. But I'll do a full video on that when we've got the full details. They didn't offer the full details in the live. They just kind of told us that basically they want to make it easier for newer players to become kind of leveled up in the game, because obviously a lot of the legacy systems have been removed now, and gear score and and things like that. So basically they're making the intro into the game a little bit easier for people to catch up to veteran agents who have been playing for a long time. Yannick then very quickly did mention that they're going to make more changes for newer agents, and obviously if you're level 40 you just might not see these changes, but there definitely is more changes coming to make it easier for newer agents to get into the game. Next, they talked about Twitch drops that you can get with me, twitch.tv/DJ Tickle, with a few other nice little surprises tomorrow. If you want to tune in for a few exclusives to my channel, it might be worth dropping by saying hi. But these look pretty cool. I do hope they go well this time. Obviously, they had to grant them all to everybody for the last ones, but the glow-in-the-dark looking backpack trophy here looks super cool, so I am definitely looking forward to seeing that. Next, they showed the brand new skill effects that are coming to a summer project near us. Look at that. So it's going to be on the Hive, and I believe, was it the drone as well? It did look, is that Seeker Mine? Yeah, look at the Seeker Mine too. So absolutely crazy. Very red, white, and blue fireworks and smoke coming out of the skills. But yeah, this is going to be part of the summer event that we are going to get shortly, coming with the division, obviously. Next, they moved on to the new shepherding changes that are coming to the game. So there is a Shepherd XP event happening again. We've had this previously, but they've made some changes this time to make it even more rewarding. The auto rewards that you get are now going to be tripled. So not only are we going to get the XP event that is happening as well, a permanent change is that we're going to get triple the amount of awards, the auto awards, that you would normally get. And that's basically to encourage people to play with this influx of newer players that are coming to the game. Then they moved on to the free weekend that is also coming on May the 29th through to June the 2nd. Then they talked about news that I've covered previously as well, that the game is coming to Xbox Game Pass. If you play the game via Xbox Game Pass, this is an outfit that you will get. So I'm hoping that I'm just going to be able to fire up Game Pass, log in with my Ubisoft account like I've done previously, and get granted this. Fingers crossed. And that was it. They did a quick dev diary at the end, which basically was recapping how the new season works and a bunch of other things with the Brooklyn DLC. But it wasn't new information. They've just made a really cool video with all of the devs kind of chatting about it and being very precise. Obviously you can see here with some really cool editing. So it's definitely worth checking that out as well when you've got a moment. But yes, that's going to be it for the video. Tomorrow is the day. Don't forget to use the code DJ Tickle on the Ubisoft store if you are going to be purchasing the DLC. Come and check me out live on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Tickle. Drop the channel a follow now so you get notified when I go live. You'll be able to get Twitch drops with me and also some other nice surprises on the day as well, which I'm looking forward to be able to tell everybody about. But aside from that, that is going to be it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, agents, and I'll see you in Brooklyn.